And I knew, mate, that game was absolutely propped up by the Belarusian mafia. Like the people that I dealt with at their esports events, and I did.
In what world does this particular streamer need any help? No offense again to you, Felix.
Yeah.
Number one streamer on the platform, does he need a Twitch ad? Because this is a Twitch ad. Now let's talk about the world of Twitch. The world of Twitch, our favorite online streaming platform. We're here right now live. Boy, they've had a week. They've had a couple weeks. This one, we want to touch base on this money laundering Turkey bit kind of scenario scam, because some news broke yesterday with some arrests and some kind of punishments on the story that broke a while ago. Yeah. So if you're not familiar, story broke, Eurogamers, what is this, November-ish? Yeah. That basically Turkish Twitch streamers were involved in a big money laundering scheme. And to give you a very down and dirty, quick and easy understanding of how it works, I steal a credit card. Or I get access to a credit card number. Which is more likely what happens. Obviously, I'm not stealing people's wallets. I then go get and make a Twitch account. Anyone can make a Twitch account. I'm user Johnny Bravo 265 today. I then take that. You
can find me at Slasher.
Yeah, and I take my stolen credit card and I buy a bunch of bits on Twitch's platform, which are 1 cent for 1 bit. Buy a bunch of bits with this free money of mine. I then go to my streamer friend, who I've already talked to and made a deal with, and I'm going to give him a bunch of these bits. He's going to then cash those bits out from Twitch, because Twitch turns those bits into cash for you, just like when you sub, you end up getting paid by Twitch a chunk of those subs. I then give you a percentage. I give you most of that money back because you are the scammer. I keep a percentage. I think it was 80-20 is what I read that they're doing. And now we have taken that credit card. We've pulled cash off it. We've washed the cash through the purple machine of Twitch safely into my bank account. And they were even setting up, the streamers were setting up the bank accounts to like send straight to where they needed to go, right? Very elaborate, very fucking well done, if you will, and only got caught because that top 100 streamer list on Twitch leaked, and people that had no fucking right to make that much money based on how many followers and subscribers they had were way up the money list because bits were counted, because bits is a type of Twitch currency. So it was in Twitch's list of the kind of money you got. Yep. So that got all these red flags going, and now all the news is starting to break. Fucking crazy shit. So
good job with the synopsis there. Yeah, I think it's actually it's complicated because you cannot buy bits and then refund the bits, right? You cannot redeem those bits for cash. So there needs to be someone who receives them, then they become cash, become fiat currency via them, and then can come back to you via sort of a bank transfer, like it's not refunded, because I think if you refund bits, you probably get the bits back. I'm not even sure if you can do that, but yeah, so that's sort of how it works. And it was all Turkish Twitch accounts, Scott. So I think people were realizing that, yes, there were low follower accounts, but they were all Turkish. I mean, it was happening within this community. And we became aware of it in the Valorant community because Sined, one of the best Valorant players in the world, hails from Turkey. He obviously was on Team Ascend, who won Valorant Champions. He had a brush with this, but he wasn't really incriminated with it. I don't even think he really knew what was going on. So Upcomer did produce an article that implied that Sined was implicated in this whole circuit. Really irresponsible. It later came out that wasn't the case. They were just being very clickbaity about it. But his brother, Sined's brother, apparently was implicated in this. This is not a joke. Yeah. This was done on such a large scale, Scott, that people in Turkey are getting fucking arrested. Their houses are getting raided. Their PCs and stuff are getting taken. And these people, some are minors, by the way, are being arrested. This came up in the literal Turkish parliament. That is just how much of a big deal it is. It was the chief prosecutor's office in Istanbul was the one that actually began this probe. So you're right. Maybe if that top Twitch list didn't come out, we wouldn't know, but it was very sus, right?
Yeah.
People were still saying this is a bit weird. Like all these tiny streamers are getting these bit donations. Clever, fairly elaborate plan that ultimately was uncovered, and now the hammer is falling.
Yeah, and maybe it would have got caught eventually. Maybe this just sped up like the red flags in the right people's hands. And Dan brings up, imagine in chat brings up a couple points that it was almost like they weren't necessarily set up in advance. Even that, like I would come to your stream, give you a big donation with bits, and go, hey, message you, go, hey, would you like to make more, and kind of broker and kind of get you into the scam. So maybe not everyone was pre-set up on the scam, but like we're enticed with bits to continue this. Hey, I'll give you more if you give me some back. And maybe those people didn't even know what, obviously that it was stolen or anything, all sorts of ways. It's like when the college kids always get approached to like fix matches, right? Because what they try to do is they try to get you to just fudge once, right? Just cross that line a little bit, because then they got you. Now they can threaten you. Right, they can hold your career over your head. Say, "Oh, well, you did this. Do it again, or I'm going to have to go tell the coach." And there goes your career. So, there could have been some threatening stuff once someone took a little bit. All sorts of crazy shit. So very interesting, but also opens up this kind of overarching question about like how easy it is to launder with all these kind of digital tools. Right? We were joking and talking off camera that I had heard years ago, when World of Tanks was, blowing up, almost a decade ago now, I guess, that there was a whole bunch of money laundering of the tanks. You would use your ill-gotten gains to buy the tanks, to then sell the tank to somebody else to clean that money. And I was like, oh, fuck, that works. That kind of works. It can work with skins. There's a lot, it depends on how you wash it and the systems you're using. But I was very intrigued by that. I was like, okay.
You want to know a funny story, Scott?
Sure. Yes, please.
I was actually a competitive World of Tanks player.
Okay, I did not know this.
Because I used to cast the game, and I wanted to really learn more about it. So I actually embedded into an Australian World of Tanks team, who were their name was Num, and we later brought them under the Mind Freak banner, which is an organization that I started. So I played a heck of a lot of that game, and I knew, mate. That game was absolutely propped up by the Belarusian mafia. Like the people that I dealt with at their esports events, and I was, this is not a brag. I was the premier World of Tanks caster for a couple of years, covering like in English, covering like the World Championships and stuff like that with my mate Oliver Maxfield, who now works at ESL's mobile gaming division. So a great friend of mine. But that was honestly the main gig that I was given when I got brought over to Germany from Australia. And I'm telling you, man, I met Victor Kiesley, who's the guy who, basically owns the game. Sus as fuck, man. His attendants looked like they could have been mafiosos. The after parties,
those after
definitely
parties
had a little bit of a hang on. There's way too much money being thrown around here. Like something isn't right here. So I believe that. Now, I will say though, at least when I played the game, you couldn't sell people your tanks. You couldn't.
Maybe I'm getting it wrong. Maybe it wasn't a tank. Maybe it was something else that was transferable or.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Again, what you're referring to might have occurred after I stopped playing. They might have, because I know they've loaded a lot more functionality into the game since then. Not terrible game, honestly. If you really like warfare, if you're kind of, you're probably Eastern European already, because I think there's still so much fascination with the machines of war in that part of the world, but also in the United States as well. Then it's actually a great game because it's very historically accurate in terms of how the tanks behave and stuff like that. But yes, long story short, the people involved at that game at the developer level, little bit sussy. Yeah. And I believe that something like that could be conducted. I always thought it was a money laundering racket for the Belarusian mafia, personally. So that's why I thought they
makes sense.
These guys had cheerleaders at esports events. Like it was fucking
tanks
bizarre.
At esports events. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I'm the first gig I did in Australia. I did like a PAX gig where I was like, I was running the booth. And I'd be like, come play. I'd try to get people to come. Yeah, they had a fucking tank there, didn't they? But it's great because they had a lot of the players were like current or previous Australian Defence Force personnel.
Oh, okay.
And they would play like they were in their platoons in their fucking. It was so funny, man. And they were like 40, 45, like some retiree age. Incredible. So great part of my life, but. A game's a trip, man. It's a whole nother world. I'm gone off topic there, but there's a bit about me and World of Tanks cast.
No, this is good. I didn't know that. I just remember spending 20 minutes putting my tank in position and then getting blown up and like, okay, this game sucks. I'm out.
Yep, and getting fucked on.
Yeah, I'm
that's
like,
most of the game.
fuck this game. I'm out. All right, we're gonna take a quick commercial. No, we're not. Wait. Oh my God, I got one more Twitch topic. Twitch topics right here. Twitch topics. One more. We're still on the topic of Twitch. Let's talk about this one. Is broke like yesterday, day before. A little bit of drama in the Twitch land in regards to who Twitch recommends when you stop your stream and your followers need to go somewhere else. Mitch, where do you want your streamers to go when you're done streaming?
Well, I want them to go to my VODs and just watch them.
I want them to go to their wallet.
Yeah. And then I want them to go to my YouTube channel that hasn't been updated in like 3 years. I mean, to be fair, can we just establish here that you have the option to set channels that you want to host when your channel's offline? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So presumably, but that was a clip, right? What Technic was showing there was like a clip of his channel now is offline. So I guess when you have clips embedded elsewhere, they don't just play whoever your channel's hosting if you're auto hosting someone, right? Yeah, go. I guess, you know what? If Twitch wants to send people over to the fucking millionaires, okay, fair enough. Is this reasonable, Scott? Is this really something worth kind of being mad over, or what do you think?
I don't know. So I don't know if there's an entitlement issue here, which kind of to what you're alluding to, like, is this much ado about like tough shit? Or because there's kind of, I guess, on one side of it, there's two issues. There's one thing that you're recommending someone to my viewers when I'm done that I might not recommend to my viewers. I might be diametrically opposed to them for whatever reason, because you're not reading any sort of logic of me and like, again, host lists or anything like that. So where are you getting that my followers want to now watch XQC? Where are you getting that piece of logic? Or is it completely unrelated and it's more of a whatever they want to market push that week they put into this ad? That's one thing. So who are you to tell my viewers what they should watch next? I hate this guy. He's evil to me. And I don't hate you, Felix. Don't get me wrong. And then that's one thing. Then is what you just said. In what fucking world does this particular streamer need any fucking help? No offense again to you, Felix.
Yeah.
Number one streamer on the platform. Does he need a Twitch ad? Because this is a Twitch ad. Does he need a Twitch ad?
Yep.
You know.
I mean, it's not to help Felix. It's to help Twitch, because Twitch determines.
Oh, and it's definitely not. Obviously not an excuse.
They will drive greater platform retention from bringing people to their more popular streamers, right? You know, it's a no-brainer that like people going to watch XQC will probably just, you know, if they get involved in this community, you know, they'll use the platform more regularly. They're more likely to buy subs and bits and all the rest. Frankly, it's not, if it's in a clip that you've embedded somewhere and it happens at the end of it, like, sorry, you don't really have jurisdiction over that. Like, you are, you know, I believe that there is ways that Twitch can definitely help their like less popular streamers, but like you yourself are not online. I know you would like this to point to one of your recommended streamers, but when it gets to the point where you, the user, start getting to curate what another user might get to see on Twitch when you're not live, you're probably crossing a line. I know you maybe don't endorse XQC, or maybe you wouldn't recommend that people watch him, but you're not live. You know, you don't get to control the narrative when you're not streaming, in my humble opinion. You already get to decide what people you auto host on your channel, right? I think that's probably enough, in my opinion, as someone who streams 3 to 4 times a week for like 2 hours each time, full disclosure. So I'm not a full-time streamer by any stretch of the imagination. But motherfucker, if you were full-time streaming, this would be a problem, because you'd be fucking live and not bitching about where Twitch is telling people to go when you're not.
Yeah, and again, it's so, you know, obviously I covered those two logical possible thoughts. My side of it is, again, I come from an age when Jason and I used to have to buy fucking bandwidth to do this. We would have to pay to fucking hope someone would then use the bandwidth, or we'd have to do a peer-to-peer with Octashape or something, like before the days of free streaming platforms, right? Like, I look at this like, motherfucker, they've given you a platform. They don't charge you for it. They rev share. You know, and again, read your contract. You don't own shit. You don't own. They could start turning your panels on and off. They could start embedding fucking ads on your page. I'm not saying they should, or I would like them to, but like somewhere along the way, we are given this beautiful free platform to use. Yes, Twitch makes millions of dollars too on our content, but like it is a very nice two-way street, not having to buy bandwidth, not having to have a CMS system and all this kind of stuff, chats, all these things that we all kind of take for granted. That is a big old thing that gets turned on for us for free. You know, when I was explaining to the guy that owns this building the other day, I'm like, no, Bob, you could literally just go make a Twitch account, plug your computer in, have a TV channel, because he's from TV, right? He's like, what do you fucking mean? I go, just like we're doing. Doesn't cost you a dime, right? He's blown away, right? So I think in some regards, this is a little entitlement. Like, you know what? Like, come on now. I just think it's weird that who they're advertising more than that they are doing it, I guess. In some
I mean, of course they are.
Yeah.
Of course they're advertising their number 2 by revenue stream.
No, I just look at it like he doesn't need
maybe
help.
Maybe
you know?
they could have pointed people towards. Yeah, I know.
But Pokemon's also on the front page right now.
Critical Role.
Yeah.
He's always streaming. Critical Role is not live all the time, right? It's actually live way less than XQC is. It just has really, really strong sort of fandom.
Oh god, great fandom.
Yeah, motherfuckers live. You know, I don't know. I mean, yeah, but why wouldn't you point people that make? Because you're on Discord, right? This is cross-platforming that Twitch is trying to do. Yes, you're going to want to try. If you're being shown in a cross-platform context, like on Discord or on Twitter or whatever, you're probably, to drive the highest chance of retention, going to drive them to your top streamer. Like I don't think anyone needs that to be explained to them any further. So no, look, like I said, maybe when at the end of your clip, you know, maybe it would be nice to get to decide like where people get pointed, because it's still your content technically that's still owned by Twitch, as we know, based on the user agreement. And yeah, you know, everybody but the top 0.1% of streamers don't get paid very well, and there are a myriad of reasons for this, but there are just bigger issues with the Twitch creator relationship that need to be ameliorated than this one, I would say, Scott.
No, I agree.
That's my piece on the matter.
I agree. We'll keep an eye on it, see if they, you know, what generally happens is Twitch comes out and says, we're sorry, or we didn't think this through, or we didn't understand the ramifications. We're going to take this back to the drawing board. We're going to rethink it. We're going to talk to our advisory panel. So, I mean, we'll see if they revise this or say, you know, this is just the way it is. Or maybe one of the options is like you can opt out. Like you've got a command on your back end that, you know, you can opt out of these things, and so that nothing gets on your clips, you know. Dan again makes another good point, because again, this is Twitch's problem. You know, start running ads on your streams, and maybe Twitch can start thinking about can think about it down the line. Meaning that Twitch, half the time streamers bitch about Twitch, but they don't even do what they're supposed to be doing for Twitch, which is hit the goddamn ad button on a regular basis, right? Because that's kind of supposed to be the other half of the deal. We're going to give you all this bandwidth. You give us the content. You hit this fancy little ad button for us on a regular. And both sides of this can make money. Yeah. One's a big corporation owned by Amazon. So if you think they're really going to care that you're mad about what's on the end of their clip, got a breach to sell you.